This, for example, is a forest. You'd get abducted and ripped into pieces. Hey, you'll have to wait in the future. And as you can see, I've got a long way to go. As my mid-school English teacher would say. Hello everyone, Goten here. If you're new here, which I'm pretty sure is absolutely the case, I'm into art, experimental stuff, and I'm currently making a 3D web series by myself. And today, I want to tell you some spooky-ish stuff about Japanese culture while I cover my latest progress. Because it's Halloween! Take a look at how I make a map. Yeah, I say map. Teach me if there's a better word. That's what I see. Put it in a video game and you'll have like a tiny level or whatever. But okay, what I do first is kind of the same I would when painting or drawing. First, I do a sketch, and since we're working in 3D today, well, as the other days actually, I use the simplest shapes I can. This, for example, is a forest. Can you see it? This is a water fountain. When you go to a jinja, which means shrine, you first bow when crossing the gates, which is called a torii, not a bird. If you don't bow, you'd get abducted and ripped into pieces by a yokai. Spooky, isn't it? I love that story. Then you go toward the fountain and you clean your hands and mouth before cleaning the spoon you used. If you play Silent F, this ritual procedure shall be familiar to you. And of course, if you went or currently live in Japan, chances are you did it yourself. I also saw many people bowing before and after the ablutions. Afterward, you go to the jinja. You don't go inside, just in front, because if you go inside, you have no idea what deity you're going to piss off. Wait, actually, I'm not really sure about that one. But hey, it's Halloween. Anyway, once you've crossed the gate, you're already inside the kami dimension. So once in front of the shrine, you donate 5 yen coin. Why 5? Because it brings luck. Just throw it inside the box. Then bow 2 times. Now either you wanna clap your hands 2 times or ring the bell to call the kami. Then join your hands. Say whatever to your imaginary friend, and when you're good, bow 1 last time as a farewell. Now enjoy the visit of the site. And finally, when you're done and ready to go out the Kamiverse, turn around toward the shrine, bow and leave, under the torii gate of course. But do never ever cross the gate in the middle. If you do that, you won't get abducted. You'll get a curse, which is worse, because in the middle space of the torii is the dedicated lane of the kami. And most important, do not try to desacralize or do not try to be funny. It is not an amusement park for those who fantasize about Japan. I could talk about Japanese culture and religion for hours. Why bowing 2 times? Why 5 means luck? We'll see in another video if these things hype you. And trust me, there's a lot to say about Shintō. This culture is older than the Roman Empire and older than the Egyptian civilization. And funnily enough, to the non-initiated, the very name Shintō is only as old as 150 years or something. Okay, one last because I can't resist. Sometime an entire mountain is a shrine, and its gate, the torii, is on its neighbor mountain. Okay, back to our buildings. Now that you're an expert on Shinto shrines, you start to see where I'm getting with my cubes, right? Now we're out of the spooky isekai type of speech. I don't know if what I'm saying makes any sense, but that's exactly how I feel my UV texturing method is. Totally nonsensical. I like when it works on the first try. You may think, why don't you put some more efforts in UVs? And this will be a valid question. I don't know, I like it that way maybe. It's partially because it looks ugly, but adds some charm. Look at this steel. If you saw my previous videos about my web series, and if you haven't, I warmly invite you to, you might have noticed how the characters are cel-shaded while the environment is not. There's a reason. Well, no, two reasons. First one, I find this aesthetic appealing and it makes the characters stand out of the backgrounds, so I guess it's helpful for reading what's happening on screen. Second one is related to language. Japanese language to be more precise. So if you're learning Japanese, you might see where I'm going with that. If not, you'll have to wait in the future, because when the pilot episode will go live, I'll make a video where I'll answer all your questions. But for now, let's go back to our texturing process. As you can see in this clip, I've applied some textures to this building, but something felt really off. I did like the look of the textures in itself, but not the colors. And so I thought about some video games, and it appeared to me that in most video games, textures usually enter in a specific color palette, which my builds are totally lacking. So I modified a bunch of PNG textures and tweaked the contrast, temperature and stuff here and there, and here's the result. Yeah, not super convincing actually. I'm not a pro, okay? But I'm still learning. And as you can see, I've got a long way to go. But hey, let's rejoice, because it won't take much long to finish all the settings and backgrounds and stuff, and when it's done, I'll start animating. And yeah, this place I'm building right now will appear in the pilot episode. So guess what kind of story or scenes could be told here? So, unfortunately, I haven't been able to do as much as I wanted this week because I had to do boring stuff in real life, and I don't know, the real life sucks. There's going to be more next week, don't worry. That's why I give you an appointment next week on the 7th of November 2025. And again, if you watch this from the future, note that there's a whole playlist of this kind of videos, so go and enjoy. And finally, as my mid-school English teacher would say,
honest people go to hell. The others are already there.
Ha, spooky! Ah shit! Nach denomok, I forgot the screamer. Don't worry, he won't escape next time. Man, screamers never get old. Never, never. Happy Halloween.
Nani それ? マリファナ。麻薬だろ。俺シャブしかやんねえから。